Kristen.
And I'm Bethany.
And this is Looking for the Middle,
the Christian Girl's Guide to Modern Dating.
We're here to help you date with confidence while honoring the Lord and to show you that your identity and contentment are in Christ. We're going to give you the tools that you need to date successfully and be set up well for success in a godly marriage.
If you've ever felt like you didn't really belong with any of the extremes in dating today, well, you're not alone. Neither did we. And that's why we're here looking for the middle.
Hello, friends. Welcome to the premiere of season 9.
I can't believe it.
You did not sound excited at all.
I know. It's just, I was thinking through the end of season 8. I got really confused as to whether or not it was season 8 or season 9.
Yeah.
And so there were several episodes that I mislabeled. I had to go back and redo because I couldn't remember what season we're on. So you said season 9, and I was processing, and I was like, yes, that's right. And here we are.
Here we are. The odd seasons are the fall, and the even are the spring.
Well, that would have been helpful.
Spring, summer.
5 seasons
Sorry,
ago.
my bad. Okay. Anyways, we're here. Welcome, guys. We're excited to be back.
We are.
This is going to be...
We always say, this is going to be a doozy of an episode, but
y'all
don't even know what's coming today. First of all, we're going to have the question of the day in a second, but
yes.
Before you're alarmed at that, we're not alone in the studio. No. So if you hear another voice, that's why.
We have a studio?
Hush. Dalton is here. If you guys listened in season 7,
mm-hmm.
the Men Tell All episode, Dalton was with us.
Best episode by far.
It is one of our top. Is it still in the top 10 of all time?
Oh, it's like top 3 or 4. But we don't tell him that.
Yeah.
Millions of views.
No. So, Dalton is here. It will become more apparent as to why later in a few minutes. But he's here, so when he answers the question of the day, no one be alarmed.
Random voice.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's Christian's question of the day.
Christian's question of the day. Yes. Okay. Are we ready?
Just jumping right in.
Yeah.
Go for it.
If you could have 50 pounds of anything that's not money, what would you want?
Is gold money?
Yes.
Okay.
No currency.
I mean, like gold bars. That's what I would say.
Nothing you can use for payment.
Okay. 50 pounds of anything. You want to go? I'm going to have to think on that for a second.
Coffee?
Okay.
Oh, great answer.
I mean, that's my thing. I'm obsessed with it, so...
Tell us what you're drinking right now.
Can I say brands?
Sure.
It's a local roaster. That feels right. Nitro Cold Brew, the best. I went in there the other day, and they said, we're going to ruin Nitro for you. And I said, okay, go ahead and try me. They handed it to me. They ruined Nitro for me. Don't want anybody else's coffee. Easy one.
There you go.
I have a Coke from Racetrack, in case anyone was wondering.
Oh, that's right, because you hate coffee because you're a messed up person.
I'm weird. What would I want 50 pounds of? See, I was trying to think of something more expensive than coffee.
Coffee is priceless.
Okay, fine. Then we'll go with ice cream. Because it's up there with coffee.
Great answer.
For you.
Where are you going to put it?
Get a deep freezer.
We didn't say it had to be practical.
Valid point.
Oh, gosh.
What would you have?
Shoes.
Oh.
Easy.
Okay, let's get in this conversation real quick. Because somebody here has a ridiculous amount of shoes. Do you have more than her?
Uh-huh. Oh, by far.
Do I have more than her? Oh, yeah.
I thought I was bad.
What did you have, like 25 pairs of shoes?
25 pairs of shoes.
Do you think that's bad?
Well, I thought it was.
I was like 63. You're over 100 still, aren't you?
Yeah, I think so. I got down below 100 when I moved into my parents' house. And then...
That was just a challenge to work back up.
Acclimated and resettled. I have one in the mail, actually, right now. It's on its way.
Just one, though. One shoe in the mail.
One pair. They're Tevas.
Oh. For hiking?
No, for like... they told me to get them.
You get married and go off the deep end.
No, we will not be hiking.
Tevas are not hiking shoes.
Oh, I thought they were.
They're cute. They're like cuter chacos.
Yeah, to go hiking in.
No.
Okay.
I'm just going to wear them because they're cute.
Okay.
Somebody told me to get them for the beach camp that we're going to.
Oh, that's smart.
So I got some
sand
of those.
hiking.
Oh, beach camps are the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Watch your students; they do dumb things.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. So I told Kevin, I'm like, I'm gonna need a lot of ice cream. And
I have 50 pounds.
There we go.
So.
I'll come find you when we get back.
Find the closest Starbucks. Coffee runs every morning.
Oh yeah, we've already
scoped it out.
Well, one of the other girl chaperones has to drive because we don't have enough room on the bus, so we will have a car, and like we will make coffee runs.
That's awesome.
Every single day.
Where's the camp?
Panama City.
Oh yeah, there's coffee places everywhere.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, let's dive in.
So I was about to say we have big news to kick it off, but I think every bullet point on our outline here is big news.
It
so
is.
Kristen,
Yes.
let's talk about your plans, your news,
Yes.
your life. Everyone knows you got married.
Yes.
So fill everyone in after that.
Yes. So at the time we're recording this,
Oh yeah, it's really early.
yeah, so we're recording this in June. Second week of June.
Don't worry, it is not a sign of things to come. Us being
Oh no, we won't ever be
on
this
time
early.
and
Yeah,
prepared
yeah,
for
yeah.
things.
So I got married end of April,
Did
and
you have to think about that?
no, I was just
You're like, I got married. When was
yeah.
that again?
When was that? No, I was trying to decide if I wanted to say 6 weeks or the end of April.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And now you said both.
And I said both. So right before, well, not right before, a few months before we got married, Kevin was really feeling like his time at his current job was in it. He's a youth pastor. If y'all heard his episode back in season 8, you know that. If not, you're fine. But he's a youth pastor, and just felt like the Lord was kind of shutting the door at the church he's at right now. And so he started looking for jobs at other churches, and he ended up applying to a church he applied to several, but he applied to a church in northern Kentucky and went through the interview process there and was offered the job as their youth pastor and associate pastor. So about 3 weeks from now, we will be moving to northern Kentucky.
Which means y'all have been living in Kentucky, 2 months by the time this comes out?
Yes. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Crap. This will be so fun to listen to.
There you
I'll be
go.
like, oh, Kristen, you knew nothing of what was coming. So we are going to, experience a lot of change in the next few weeks. We're very excited, slightly terrified, but very excited. We don't have any family up there. We don't really know anybody other than the church. So this is going to be a very big adjustment, big leap of faith. But the Lord has just been so clear that this is a step we need to take, how he's opened this door and just worked everything out. And so we're excited to see all that he has in store for that. So
Yes.
that is personal life plans. If you follow me on on my Instagram, and you already know this, you are really paying attention, because I literally only shared it to my story the day Kevin posted about it, and I haven't posted anything until we recorded this.
Yeah.
So you may have seen something. I don't know what I'm doing in 2 months. But yeah, so that's my personal life.
So that
Update.
brings us to the big question of what in the world are we going to do with the show?
Yes.
Originally, the plan was Kristen gets married. We'll keep going as usual. We will just kind of incorporate married life, kind of maybe broaden, I guess you could say, the scope of the show a little bit. That was the plan. And then they started interviewing different places. I mean, Kentucky was the one y'all landed on, but there were just, 2 or 3
Florida.
other out-of-state things.
Yeah.
And so we were just kind of waiting to see, because we tried during the pandemic and a couple other times since then, when we couldn't actually be in person together, scheduling wise, and it's not fun trying to record over Zoom.
No.
It's not fun technologically. It's not fun
Relationally.
Yeah, it's not the same. And so we kind of said, okay, you know what? If y'all get the job and move, we're going to have to figure something out, because neither of us really wanted to keep going virtually, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So, I guess y'all are probably putting 2 and 2 together at this point now. We decided to, instead of broadening the scope, we're going to keep kind of generally the same. Kristen's moving to Kentucky. She's still going to be around. Whenever she's here, she's going to be on the show. Mm-hmm. But Dalton, who you guys loved in season 7.
I don't blame you.
And is actually local here. He is going to be stepping in to, I guess you could say, full-time co-host role.
Ironically, I came from Kentucky.
I was thinking about that
so
yesterday.
true.
That Dalton came down from
He's
Kentucky.
been here
and
for
and
a little
now
over a
I've
year now.
always been here and going to Kentucky.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Have you already been
funny.
here over a year?
It's been
Well-
a year, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking by September, when this comes out,
Oh, that's true.
I was speaking
Gosh,
futuristically.
My timelines are going to be
At
so
the
off.
moment of this recording, it's been a year and a week.
What?
Yeah.
Happy anniversary. Workiversary.
Yes. Time flies when you're having fun. Anyway.
As
No.
Bethany rolls her eyes.
I know.
Note for the audio.
When
Contrary.
I'm having fun and she's miserable.
No, it's going to be. I'm really excited about this. Obviously, we're so sad Kristen is leaving. Kristen, I think, is going to have a ton on her plate. Her little introverted self, getting used to new city, new husband, new dog, new church, same job. At least you get to keep that.
I literally tell people the only thing not changing about my life is my job and Jesus, and everything else is changing.
That's true. So she's going to have a lot to adjust to.
Yeah.
So obviously, she's welcome here anytime. But things are going to look a little different for the rest of this season, which I'm really excited about. I think it's going to be good.
Absolutely.
We've had, especially for our male audience, we've had guys reach out in the past and they're like, oh, I listen to you guys and it's so great because there's not an equivalent podcast or show for guys. So I think we're going to bring some of that perspective in, and it's going to be helpful and maybe broaden some of the things we talk about. I also think it's going to be great for you girls in that sometimes you guys ask us questions about what guys think or why do they do this or why do they do that, and Kristen and I take our best stab at it, but we don't totally know.
We don't either.
Spoiler alert.
But see, there's your confirmation. So
That's true. So now we're going to actually have some firsthand knowledge. So that's the plan for the show. That's where we're going. And I think it's going to be really great. So you guys will see. I'm saying this in June with the plan being to get all of this done by September when this airs. We're going to have a new logo. There will be a new website out after this week's episode and all of that stuff. So it's going to look a little different, but it's going to be the same otherwise. So for those of you guys who maybe didn't listen to Dalton's episode in season 7, you can go back and do that now too, but we're going to kind of re-intro him a little bit now. So, Dalton, I have on the outline here. Tell us your story.
What pertains to the story?
Who you are, what you do, anything else that might be pertinent. People would want to know.
It was funny, last time that we recorded, I wasn't even in the job that I am now.
That is true.
So we recorded and I was about to be stepping into that
hadn't started.
position. I hadn't
Yeah.
started yet, which I was about to head to Northern Kentucky when we were recording that one. The exact same town where you're moving.
are you serious?
Yeah, I was going up there to go hunting.
I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Full circle.
Yeah, so I was up in the Florence area.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Florence. Well, it's funny because they told us that Florence, like nobody goes to Florence, like where we're going, because it's, I don't know. I'm like, I don't get this, but I liked Florence. I'm like, so the introvert in me is like, I'll go to Florence when I don't want to run into anyone.
That's the southern town.
Okay.
I walked into Walmart and they're covered in deer blood, full camo, and I looked normal.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
So just be aware, hunting season, it's going to sound like fireworks are going off.
Okay, great.
It's just people having a good time.
Awesome.
And if you see buzzards everywhere, that means it was a really good time.
Really good time. Okay. See, these are things I need to know. Okay.
Oh, big hunting area.
Great.
So good luck. But
Thank
that's
you.
actually my backyard. So I grew up in southern Kentucky, but I have a best friend of mine that lives in the Florence area. So I've been up there several times. Close to Cincinnati, baseball. I mean, you guys are basketball people.
Yes.
So you got Kentucky basketball. You'll be fans within a couple months.
Brother.
My brother has been a big Kentucky. He's a big Calipari fan. Calipari, however you say it.
I know.
Yeah. So we've followed Kentucky
Yeah.
somewhat closely. So
Well,
I'm
you're about to really follow it.
yes, I'm a fan. I'm excited.
It is Kentucky basketball culture up there. But yeah, I actually moved to Kentucky when I was 7. So born in the Georgia area, loved Georgia, but my dad got a pastorate up in Somerset, Kentucky in 2001. So he picked us up, we moved, and I was there ever since. The big thing for me is Christian ministry. That's always, well, I'd say always. For a while, I wanted to make money, and Christian ministry is not the place where you make money. So I wanted to be an engineer, and the Lord changed those plans pretty drastically. So I went off to seminary, graduated with a degree in theology, and then I'm working on, I don't know the last time I was working on my master's. It's been a couple years.
I think as long as you're like, you've started it and you haven't finished, you're working on
I
it.
say I'm working
Yeah.
on it. I mean, I know other people that are working on some other degree
Right.
programs, so
I think it
I'm not going
counts.
to mention who that is,
Yeah.
but working on it. It's not Bethany. She's not working on her master's.
Anything.
She's working on surviving working with me.
There you go.
That is true, and it is a full-time job. Let me tell you.
Yes.
No, it's more than a full-time job. You know, you have your regular job, ministry coordinator / whatever other title they want to add on, and then Dalton Wrangler.
That is true.
Dalton
It's
I mean,
true.
like 95% of your job is the wrangling part. But I actually,
lie.
at the time of recording, I have been here a year, which is pretty great. I'm excited about that. And I came on in November full-time as Director of Family Ministries, which is an actual job because I have a card for it.
There you go.
So if you have a business card, it's a real job. If you don't have a business card, it's not real. Do you have a card?
I need to
I
get
do have a card.
Okay, you have a real job
So
then.
thank you.
What is your title on that?
Ministry coordinator.
All right, good.
Yeah,
Just making sure.
That's it.
Not finance director or anything
Nope,
like that.
I am not the finance director, despite some people's otherwise thoughts.
We can make it happen.
He always threatens. If I'm like complaining, he's like, "Well,
We'll change
the
it up a little
finance
bit.
director."
Yeah.
Could be that. So, yeah, I mean, that's the very short, condensed version. If you want the longer story, there's a really great podcast about it.
We'll put the link in the show notes.
Yes. Yes, for sure.
Okay, so tell us. Okay, so you like hunting. What like fun?
Well, I say I like hunting. I've done it one time.
That's the only time you've ever gone?
So I went one other time, and it was not a successful trip.
Oh.
I wasn't the one
Is
doing
that-
the shooting, though, so...
So if you go hunting, but you don't actually, I was gonna say catch anything, kill anything, is it just you went watching?
For me, that's
Looking?
what it was.
I
I was
went
sitting in
looking
the
this
stand.
weekend. Is that how?
I love that you call it hunting. Because down here
Hunting.
it's
Hunting.
hunting.
Oh,
It's hunting.
you know, somebody was talking yesterday. They're talking about. I was watching some kids yesterday, and they were like, "It's so funny. My mom says mountain."
Mountain.
And I was
Mountain.
like, yeah, mountain. How else would you say it? And they were like, it's mountain. And I was like, oh.
Say the color.
Go to the
No,
mountains.
I'm not doing it.
Say the
That's
color.
what started this whole thing.
Orange. Orange.
It's
It's orange.
orange.
Dalton is wearing an orange shirt.
It's not orange.
I don't
Orange.
say orange.
Like a pirate.
It's orange.
Pretty close.
Orange.
No.
Orange.
You're trying right now.
I
Orange.
don't even know.
You are
The word doesn't
trying.
even sound like a word anymore, you guys.
Anyway, hunting.
Yep. Looking, watching.
Looking. That's basically what it was. The first time I went, my buddy just wanted to see if I'd be interested in it.
Yeah.
I fell asleep. Was freezing my rear end off. It was not fun.
You're a
And
big
then
fisher person.
it was, well, he was bow hunting and
Oh,
he shot a
okay.
deer and it didn't die. And it was, we ate breakfast and we didn't say two words to one another. It's just miserable.
Oh.
We hiked for hours, couldn't find it. So,
Oh, that does sound miserable.
bow hunting, not for me.
Not your thing. Okay.
But I did. My first hunting trip shot the biggest deer they had seen there for years. So I figure I might just want to retire at this point.
Yeah. One and
Go out
done.
on top. Fishing, because everyone loves when a guy has fishing pictures in his profile pictures. That's I love it.
That was
Yeah.
the picture you had us put on the Instagram.
Just to be a smart aleck.
yeah.
100%.
Like,
I told
here's
him
his fishing
the
picture.
other day. I was like, okay, we're gonna need new pictures for the website. We're gonna need this, that, and the other. He's like, here, I've got some pictures. we
Oh,
could
they're
use.
all gold.
Oh,
That was
no.
the first one.
Wait.
Hold this big fish. I was like, no.
No, we've got a classic one that's going on there.
We'll put it. Yeah.
It's not even got a fish in
It doesn't.
it. It was a high quality picture. I'll
You
show you.
guys-
I can't wait. I can't
Check
wait.
Instagram
I'll
to
show
see
you
that.
later.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway, so you're big into fishing.
Fishing, love fishing. Love getting hurt on a ball
I was
field.
gonna say you like playing sports. They don't like you as much.
No. I like getting hurt a lot.
He's good at it
Uh-huh.
too.
It's a spiritual gift, in my opinion.
Okay.
You know, certain people are gifted with athletic ability. I'm gifted with injury
Injury.
prone.
Acquiring
Yes.
disability.
It felt like a Dwightism right there. There's a little sprinkling of the
There you
office
Likes
go.
in
the
there.
office.
Love
so
the office.
That's good.
That's going to be problematic.
I really told them, I really think y'all should do an office quote of the day.
Maybe what we should do instead of the question of the day is we'll have an office quote of the day, and the other person, like, it's just you say the quote, and the other person has to guess
Who said it?
who said it or what it's like, what was going on.
Oh, do
do
that.
that.
I could get in trouble with that one.
Keep it appropriate.
No, not that way. I'm not good at attributing who said what.
Well,
Me
Google it.
either. Well, with The Office, I am,
Yeah.
but movie quotes, they give me. I don't remember movies. I don't remember anything. They give me a hard time because,
Song lyrics.
oh yeah, no,
I'm good at song lyrics.
I don't even know who sings stuff.
No. But yeah, office quotes.
Anyway,
Yes.
so yes.
So you like The Office.
Love The Office. I love sitting on the couch watching TV. I can be lazy when I want to be. I love books more than I should. I have a box of books that's going in my office after this.
Fun.
Oh, yeah.
I love books.
He has so many.
They just keep coming.
They do.
I'm going
It's
to see
like
if I
shoes.
can get more.
Books are his shoes.
Oh.
They are.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
fun.
It's totally it. It's
Well, I
the
was-
same. So see how you think about books.
That's how I think
How
about
we
shoes.
think about shoes.
I was, okay, one's really profitable and the other one's just not as profitable.
I disagree.
You use shoes every day.
Every
I
day.
use books every day.
You don't need books every day, though.
Oh, we don't now.
Other than the Bible.
Aha!
It's on your phone, though.
No,
true.
it had.
About need, you could anyway. We're getting way off.
All right, yes.
Topic. Is there anything else you want people to know about you right off the bat?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
That's a high quality sound bit right there.
No.
We better keep it in there. You have to unravel the story.
That's fine.
That's the point of being on here. Is we
Yeah,
just,
you don't
fine.
give it all away at the beginning.
I know. I just
Like-
didn't. We all know
Like an onion, I
I
have
interrupt
layers.
people, and so I didn't want to interrupt his storytelling and move on to something else.
you interrupt people.
Shut up. This is brand new information. Okay.
See, that was a quote from
Friends.
Friends. That wasn't The Office.
No, it wasn't. That's true. Okay.
Look at you.
So now, tell us why do you want to do this? What are you wanting to come here and like? Why are you wanting to come on the show?
Bethany threatened me,
The truth comes out.
Past that, after we got past that part.
and I'm scared of her. No,
Why is everybody scared of me?
it's not true. You're not a scary person.
Thank
Even though you
you.
did tell me you can murder me and hide my body, and no one would
We,
ever find
we had a
it.
great conversation
That is
about how
true.
Bethany could turn into a serial killer right before we started recording.
I'm a very nice serial
We should have been recording that, honestly.
I'm a very
Outtakes.
nice serial killer. Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
That's an oxymoron.
So I'm starting a
is.
spin-off podcast on the true crime story of Bethany turning into a serial killer. You can tune in to that in a few months.
yeah, because we need another true crime podcast out there.
I'm out. I've
Always.
listened to all the ones that I like so far.
I know, there haven't been any good ones recently.
Yeah.
I'm a little frightened. Okay, this is a trend that I'm finding. Women love
Murder?
murder,
I don't know what it is.
and it's really
Have
alarming.
you seen the SNL skit about it?
No.
I haven't seen it. Oh, I need to watch it.
After this, we'll watch it.
Okay.
After we get off recording. It's hilarious.
Anyway.
Yeah. So
Sir,
why,
off
do,
of-
why do you
off
want
of
to do
murder.
this?
Yeah, why do you want to be on here?
Well, so I wanted to do a podcast several years ago with a friend of mine. That might still be a thing, questionable at best. I bought a microphone, got all the editing software. I was like, all right, let's do this thing, and then it never really took off.
Okay.
We'll see. Could take off. So podcasts have always been interesting to me. I get paid to talk, so might as well sit and talk. And Bethany's favorite thing is story time during the week. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of interesting stories. She has a lot of interesting stories too. She just doesn't like to divulge some of them.
I do.
It's true.
I just don't tell them.
High quality stories.
I do have good stories.
Dolphins. So there's part of it where I just, I love having conversations with people. I think around this topic, we don't have enough candid conversations. I think really that's the heart behind it of let's just be genuine about the dating world, especially in the church, which for some reason is far more complicated than it should be. We can get on a soapbox about that
Yeah,
one.
we're gonna talk about soapboxes in a minute.
But it's important for us to, what does Scripture say about how we should live and how we should operate? Because 2 Timothy 3:16, all Scripture is profitable for teaching, for reproof, for correction, and for training in righteousness. But just how do we think logically and biblically about the world we're living in? How we interact with one another, how dating should be God-honoring and glorifying and not as complicated as it is currently.
So you're hoping to well, that leads into the question, but that's why you want to do this. That's why you obviously have the interest in podcasting. You like talking about dating from a biblical standpoint. So then with that in mind, what do you hope comes from your time here and what you're going to bring to the table?
I want it to be beneficial for people. It's not just us sitting here rambling about all of the problems that we see in dating. We want to be helpful to people and show, okay, we don't have to overthink this. We can converse with one another, and we might not agree on everything. We probably won't. We never do. Mm-hmm. But it's good to hear perspectives and point of views. And, I was laughing with Bethany. We have to rename this because I'm a guy, and this is the Christian Girls Guide to Dating. So there'll be a little bit of a rebranding.
Yeah.
Just take out Girls Christians Guide to Dating.
Yeah.
But guys don't really think this through very much. It's a lot of the fly by the seat of your pants. Let me just kind of jump in there and see what happens. Let's give some genuine thought, because that's your sister in Christ that you're talking about. And you're thinking about asking out, or please don't say you're thinking about marrying before you've asked her out, because that happens.
It does.
I've known of guys that I went to school with on the first date that, just divulged their love for the girl.
They
and,
told her?
I looked her square in the eye and said, now my intentions are to marry you. I'm like, oh, there's a reason why you didn't get a second date. And she won't talk to you.
Yeah.
So we don't have to be extreme one side, extreme the other side. You can find the middle.
We didn't even tell him to say that.
I didn't. I just led up to that.
Okay, so then you mentioned soapbox earlier. Do you have several things that are like soapbox topics that like you're looking forward to talking about, or even just topics in general, like things that you're like, okay, I can't wait to do this because we can talk about X, Y, Z.
Oh, I will blast guys for being overbearing.
Okay.
I will put them on blast. I mean, it was what I was just talking about. Guys that just, you've been on 2 dates and you're telling me you love the girl? That doesn't really, like, I get love at first sight. That's a thing for some people. Maybe not say it out loud. Just keep it to yourself for a little while. But there's so many guys, especially in the church, I don't know why it's in the church, that are just overwhelming to women when they're first interested in them, and they're hovering and they feel like they control the relationship. The biggest soapbox for me is the conversation of submitting. Because I've had guys say to me before, well, my girlfriend's not submitting to me, and I just want to look at them and say, that's great. She's doing exactly what she's not supposed to be, or what she's supposed to be doing.
Right.
Because you're not supposed to have a submitting type relationship when you're dating. You're not one of two categories. You're not her father. You're not her husband. That's the biblical category. So I don't like guys saying, well, she's supposed to submit to me in dating. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
We're going to shut that down real quick. Yeah, I don't know. I can give perspective, too, on the fact that we don't really think that often as guys. The question is all the time, what was your thought process going into it? I'm going to be honest, I really don't know. I just kind of shot from the hip, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
So we'll look into the guy's brain.
Well, and I think that's going to be so good because since we started this show, we have talked about how girls overthink everything.
Well, and we overthink what guys are thinking.
Exactly. And
He said this, so he must be thinking that. Or he said that, so
we
I'm responding to
assume
that
a guy, like if we're thinking through something one way, that a guy's probably thinking through it the same way. And 99% of the time, that is not the case.
No.
And so I think it's going to be so helpful to, because like you said, we can have a shot in the dark. Yeah. And we've had guys on here, and I think there's a reason why the episodes we have guys as guests on here do so well, is because we have like all but grilled them about like, what do you think about this? And why do guys do this? And because we're so desperate as women to try to understand men. And I think that's why we've attracted male listeners, because they're trying to figure out like what in the world girls are thinking.
Can I just say open communication solves a lot of problems, which is really the platform for what we're doing here, is openly communicating about this. Yeah. No one talks about, okay, this is what I'm feeling or this is what I'm thinking. You've got guys that are just looking at it going, I don't know if she likes me, I saw this, but maybe, and there's a little bit of analyzing and then they just kind of go for it. And then there's girls that are trying to analyze every little detail. Just talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's just communicate with one another. I know it's hard. I know it's sometimes scary. You're going to have to step out in faith at some point.
Yeah.
Just do something.
Yeah.
So communication is the biggest problem, I think, in all of this.
Yeah.
And that's really the heart behind what we're doing here, is learning how to communicate with one another and how to have really good discourse about dating and how to talk about your feelings and that fun stuff.
Yeah,
well, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think a lot of that goes back to what you were saying earlier, though, Dalton, about, like, why is this like this in the church? Because people, because there's in the purity culture and the pursuit conversation of you date for marriage, which y'all know my thoughts on all that. But it's like people are scared to communicate because they're like, okay, well, is it okay that I've thought through it this much? Or is it okay that I haven't thought through it as much as I'm supposed to? Because if I'm not ready to marry the girl, is it okay that I'm wanting to date her? If I'm not ready to marry the guy, is it okay that I want to date him? And like all this, it's like, yes, just go on the friggin' date. Like, just tell him, hey, I think you're cute and you seem really nice and I would like to go to dinner with you. Or if you're a dude, flip the script. Like, say, hey, you know what? I've really enjoyed hanging out with you recently, and you seem like a great person. Can I take you to dinner on Friday at Chili's at 7 o'clock? Sure.
Chili's. What? You had Chili's yesterday.
Joanne and I went to Chili's yesterday. I don't know. We just didn't know where we wanted, and we were like, yeah, they have a little bit of everything.
Did you get an Awesome Blossom?
No, we didn't get an Awesome
Those
Blossom.
are good.
Sorry, that was another Office book.
Oh, man. Baby back, baby back. I love my baby back.
I wasn't going to sing that part. No, but really, though,
yeah.
I don't know why the culture is the way that it is in the church. I do think it's surrounding the date for marriage, which is not wrong.
Yeah.
That's what you should be doing.
Right.
And it's an important caveat of what you just said of, I'm not ready to marry her. Well, how are you going to know that first date?
Exactly.
But are you ready to marry? Mm-hmm. Are you as a person
Yeah.
Yeah.
ready to walk down that road? Because you shouldn't be dating if you're not ready, at least in some part. You're not going to be completely ready.
Yeah. That's a great.
You can attest to that. There's things that happen in marriage. You're like,
Wait a second.
why did that happen the way that it did?
Yep.
So you're still figuring it out after
yeah.
marriage.
Absolutely.
But are you as a person in a position where you are preparing for marriage? If you're jumping into this saying, I have absolutely no clue what's going on in the world around me and my life is a mess, maybe not right now.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to bring all sorts of a mess into this person's life and make a mess of their life as well.
Yeah. I think that would be a good, maybe episode down the road. Y'all can do whatever you want. You don't have to listen to me.
Our life.
Yes. But
Write that down.
just trying to figure out exactly what you just said of, okay, what does it look like to be ready to marry, but also not thinking you've got to be perfectly ready? What's the middle of that? You know, because there are people who have, dating paralysis, basically, that, well, I don't have this much in my savings account, and I haven't paid off all my debt, and I don't have this lined up professionally, and I don't own a home, and I don't do this, and so I'm not going to marry somebody until I check all of these boxes. And it's like, okay, well,
Where does it say that in the Bible?
thank
Yeah.
you. And we're not expecting perfection here for you to have this 12-point checklist figured out. But at the same time, like you said, if you're not making wise decisions and preparing yourself well so that you can enter into a relationship with somebody and not jack their life up as a result of all the stuff you've got going on, where is that balance? I think that would be a really cool conversation to have of what does that look like to prepare to marry or be prepared to marry without over preparing, maybe something like that.
Or being prepared in the right way,
Yeah.
the right categories, the right things.
Yeah, what's worth preparing for, and what do you not have to have completely solidified
Yeah.
before you get married?
Now I just
wrote
want to
that
talk
down.
about that.
Yeah.
Well, I have it on the
I will
list. We'll
hold
talk
off
about it
on it.
There you go.
for a later
I
episode.
won't get on that soapbox.
There we
Yes.
go.
Yes.
Do you have any other soapboxes that we should know about?
Oh, I'm sure there's going to be plenty.
Okay.
The problem when Bethany and I start talking is I get on a soapbox and you never know where it's coming
We're
from.
like, oh.
Yes.
She just says something, an instant trigger, and I'm just 45 minutes later, I'm just putting somebody on blast.
So-
Whoopsies.
Don't worry. Just because Kristen won't be around all the time does not mean the rabbit trails will cease.
No.
In
They might
any
get
way,
worse.
shape,
They
or
might
form.
get worse. I'm going to be listening, and I'm going to be like, man, they went for that one. I love it.
My favorite word is anyways. Anyways.
He just walks into a room
But I
and says
think,
it.
yeah, I think some of our best conversations though have come from rabbit trails.
It's very true.
I think our people love
Very
rabbit
true.
trails.
They relate. They
yes.
get it.
Yes.
Okay, that's all we had on the outline. Do you have anything else people need to know about you before we jump in, Dalton?
I'm great.
Okay. Kristen, you're up then. We have number 5 here on our little list says, Kristen's super sappy final thoughts.
Oh gosh, I
So-
didn't want to say super sad because I don't want to cry.
We want super sad.
Oh,
yeah,
my
it's okay.
gosh.
Dalton will cry with you.
Oh,
I am
Are
a
you a
crier.
crier?
Oh, goodness,
Oh,
I am a
that's so
crier. That's a
sweet.
real thing.
I think let's talk about that for a second.
Well, hold on. No. We don't have to get on the crying now, because I will. I am a crier.
I think it's sweet. I think it takes confidence for a dude to
Oh, I
cry in
totally
front of other
agree.
people.
Yeah,
Because I think
there's nothing wrong with it.
no.
We're working on some mission stuff for the church, and
He said some missions stuff, not submissions stuff.
I mumble.
I thought this is what you sound like we are.
We are not working on that. Some missions stuff at the church. They know we work together, right? We talked about that in the last one.
They
Okay.
do, yeah.
She's my boss. Not really, but she's my boss.
Yes.
So we're talking about doing missions here and thinking through that. And last night I was starting to pull statistics for it and looking at the numbers. And I walked in her office and went, I've already cried twice today.
Eyes were like all red.
That's so
I
sweet.
am not ready for this.
It's adorable.
That's so
Because
sweet.
the one big thing you need to know about me, missions is my life. You know, I want to see the
awesome.
gospel go to the ends of the earth. I'm going to Canada in, well, the time of this airing. When is this airing?
September.
We'll be
September.
back.
So I will be just coming back from Canada, actually, and then headed probably to a wedding. But coming back from Canada on a missions trip, which would be the first time I've been on the field in a couple of years,
That's awesome.
which has been killing me.
Yeah.
So I will talk about the gospel ad nauseum, which there's bigger problems to have.
Yeah, for
Right?
sure.
Seriously.
For sure.
But one of my favorite proverbs, and I'm teeing you up here, I'm going to get you real emotional,
Oh,
and then you're going to have
gosh.
your super sappy thoughts.
Great, thanks.
One of my favorite proverbs, this is not a biblical proverb, I think it's ancient Eastern proverbs. You stand on the shoulders of the giants that came before you. So me coming into this podcast is just building off of what you've already laid the foundation for. See, there we go. Now we're getting the tears. It's exciting. It really is. I thoroughly enjoyed the one time I was able to be on here and having hilarious conversations. Like, I can't wait for people to hear the outtake of the cockroach.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
Stay tuned till the very end,
There
y'all.
we go.
Very end.
But-
It's worth it.
This is not me coming in and adding something new necessarily. It's just building off of what's already there. And that's exciting. So I'm looking forward to it. And then anytime you come back, getting to have you on here and hear all of the entertaining stories of youth ministry, because trust me, I know a lot about it.
Wow, I was not ready to be in youth ministry. Like I thought, people told me, they're like, Kristen, I could see you being a pastor's wife. But my mom, a few weeks ago, she was like, yeah, I don't think I ever thought youth pastor specifically, but I mean,
You'll figure it out.
you'll figure it out. And I'm like, yeah, it's got some interesting aspects.
It's going to have a lot of difficulties,
Yes.
a lot of quirks, but there are going to be just loads of young women that are going to cling to you, and it's going to be such a great opportunity.
Thank you.
I absolutely love it, and I look forward to it. I was excited because I know the Northern Kentucky area,
Yeah.
and it needs the gospel just like everywhere else does, especially kids.
Yeah.
With the pressures they're facing today, with current cultural climate, with social media, it's hard.
I could not imagine being in high school right now.
Yeah.
Or middle school. Mm-hmm. Like, I think about my girls I coach in basketball. I'm like, how are y'all? And yet they're in private Christian school, and still the stuff that they're dealing with. I'm like, how do y'all even
Oh, it's a nightmare.
do this? Yeah.
But with that said, this is not goodbye.
No.
This is
not
just
at
a
all.
see you next time,
Yeah.
and we'll see where we go from here. So, super sappy final
Wow.
thoughts.
Thanks, Dalton.
Well, thanks for saying that. That was really sweet.
I'm going to try to make it through this and not cry, but no promises. This has been one of the coolest things I know I will ever do. And was never on the radar. Like, every time I tell the story of how we started this podcast, like, we were at a Memorial Day pool party, and somebody, like, we had a ranting session about
And
dating
we were annoyed.
in Bethany and Lindsay's living room. And somebody was like, oh, we should start a podcast. And it was like, me and Bethany lock eyes. We're like, yes. I think I ordered the Amazon mic the next day. Like, and had all these ideas and thinking like, oh, if maybe a few of our friends will listen to it, that'd be so fun. And then we have people from all over the world now, like, DMing us and saying, thanks for doing this, or asking for our advice. And that still just doesn't really feel real to me. But I think one of the coolest things about this story is, I don't know if I've told this before. I think I may have told part of it, but a couple years before we started the podcast, I went to a women's retreat in Florida with Melanie, and we went three times together. And I was a small group leader that year, and so I had like 6 girls in my group, and we talked a ton about dating that week, and a lot of the stuff we talk about on here. And I felt such a burden at the end of that retreat of what we have got to get this right. Like, this, it should not be this hard to date and to have these conversations, or even just to be single. Like, it should not be this hard to be single as a Christian woman. And I have a journal entry in one of my prayer journals that was like, Lord, I don't know, like, what I can do. I don't feel equipped for this. I don't feel like I even know what the possibilities are, but I feel like something's got to be done to open the lines of communication, to start conversations, to make things better. I have no idea what that looks like, but I feel like you're just really putting that burden on my heart. And then 2 years later, we start this. And I didn't find that prayer until like 2 years in. And I remember finding it in my apartment and just like losing it and being like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about this. And like, Lord, look how you answered this prayer. And to see how, I can't remember who said it. I will totally butcher this. But the quote that's like, you know, your job is to do what you feel like the Lord is leading you to do and to be obedient and create what he's wanting you to create or do what he's wanting you to do, and he will get into the right hands and he will, you know, open the right ears or whatever you want to do or whatever you want to say. And I feel like that's exactly what he's done. Is like with Bethany and I starting this, is we felt like this was a need. We felt like this is something we could speak to, and then the Lord just carried it way further than we ever thought he would. And it has been the biggest blessing and the most fun just thing to be a part of. And to have all of y'all listening just be so supportive and grateful and fun, and to the messages y'all send, like, still make my day every time I read them. And to have had all of y'all like commenting when I got engaged, because people, like my friends are like, who is this person? I'm like, podcast listener. It's just randomly congratulating me. And even on like our wedding pictures, like it was just really cool to have built this community. And obviously I feel like y'all probably know more about me than I know about you, so I do feel like I'm at a disadvantage, but even just to feel that kind of support was really, really special. And like Dalton said, this is not a goodbye. I will be dropping in, whether they like it or not. No. But
that's all right, because every time you guys record, I make faces in the window.
But I'm excited to see how the show continues to grow, and I think having Dalton here is going to be just an incredible, incredible thing to hear his wisdom and his perspective, and to have an actual dude in the room is going to be awesome, where Bethany and I aren't guessing as much as we normally do. Or, hey, let's text our guy friends, or let me text my brother really quick and ask, like, hey, what do you think about this? I just think it's going to be really cool, and I think we'll allow the show to grow and broaden even more, because you're able to not just mainly talk to women anymore. You're able to talk to men and women, and I think it's going to be really cool to see what the Lord continues to do. So I'm just want to... I didn't cry. I'm good.
You did so good.
Thank you. I'm just really, really grateful and really excited to see how things continue to go. And y'all can still follow me on social media if you want to keep up with my Northern Kentucky life, whatever that's going to entail. I have absolutely no idea. And, you know, if I haven't just crawled into a ball because of our puppy. And it's been a rough week, y'all. When we're recording this, Kevin has sprained his knee. Was ACL.
Thought he had a torn ACL.
Yeah, we thought he had a torn ACL. He sprained his ACL and his LCL and has 2 bone bruises. And we've taken our puppy to the emergency room twice this week. And it's Thursday. So it's just been a really interesting week.
It's been a long week.
Yes. So hopefully.
You can say it's finally Thursday. Though.
Finally Thursday.
That's
Gosh,
true.
yes. So it's, life is not ceasing to be interesting. But yeah, I'll quit saying I'm grateful over and over because I'm repeating myself.
But that's the wonderful thing about life, though, is it's just a bunch of moments of, I don't really know what this is going to look like, but I'm stepping out in faith and I'm following you.
Yeah.
You know, you look at the creation of this podcast of, Lord, I see a need.
Yeah.
I don't know what exactly you want me to do about it, but I'm ready when you are.
Yeah.
And then he opens a door and it turns into this.
Yeah.
You look at your relationship and now going up to Northern Kentucky. I don't know what this is going to look like. But the two of you are stepping out in faith and saying, we're going there.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to impact lives for the sake of the gospel. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to look 10 years down the road and say everything that the Lord has done. Southern Seminary, when you graduate, there is a song called Soldiers in Christ. And the end of it never made sense to me. It says, we meet to part and part to meet. And it's really a kind of a weird line that I never understood. And I finally got it when I graduated, and I started having my friends spread across the world. That when we come together, when we meet together, it's not forever. That there's always going to be this parting ways, whether it's in this life or the next. But we also part to come again and tell all of what the Lord has done. And that's the exciting part of this, is that we're coming together and being able to prepare for whatever is coming next. And then you're going to be able to come back and say, oh man, the Lord's been doing this through our ministry, and this has been really hard, but God's been really blessing this. It's just being able to hear the testimony of his faithfulness. And that's what we're building towards.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting. And it's the story of this podcast.
Yeah.
The faithfulness of the Lord and getting to see all of that.
Yeah. That's good.
Amen.
Perfect words to end on.
Amen.
Okay, wrap us up one more time.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much for being here. We are all looking forward to seeing what the season holds. It's going to be super fun. And y'all know by now, if you've stuck around, there's going to be no shortage of rabbit trails and fun conversations and snarkiness and
A lot of that.
a lot of that. It's going to be a grand old time. So make sure you stick around. We will be back. Well, I won't be back. That's so sad. Dalton and Bethany are going to be back next week.
You'll be back.
You'll be back.
I'll be back at some point.
At some point.
But next week, you will hear from Dalton and Bethany with another full-length episode of their first official full-length episode together. So it's going to be a grand old time. And I'm not going to tell you what it's about, mainly because I don't know. But it's going to be a surprise. Yeah. So, but stick around. At the very end, you're going to hear there was a cockroach on the wall while we were recording. And that's all I'm going to tell you, because man, oh man, were we glad we were recording.
Oh, we are going to publish so many outtakes on
Yes,
this.
it's going to be great. So stick around for that. But until next time, I'm Kristen.
And I'm Bethany.
And I'm Dalton.
And this is Looking for the Middle.
Blooper reel.
Oh my word.
Not as complicated as it is currently. Holy cow, that's a big cockroach.
No, my word. It's not on you. Calm down. Where is it? It's on the wall. Way over there.
Just kill it, please. Like, how close is it to me?
It's not close. But don't turn around. I just don't want you to see it.
Oh, Lord, help me.
Yeah, take off your shoe. Oh my word. You did it. Just kill it. It's not dead. It's not dead. It's not dead. It's not dead.
Please tell me you were recording.